All right, welcome to the Simple Mind Sports Show, special edition here tonight. Not sports, unless it comes into play. I'm not sure. We haven't dove into it in detail at all. With us is Dave Wise, or otherwise known as Flat Earth Dave, who is here to turn us tonight. All us public educated dimbats believe the Earth is round, and by the end of this, as I just said, Dave, we'd like to think that the Earth is flat. So we'd like you to do your best to get us to that point.
Yeah, man. You know, we all have the same story. When we first heard about flat Earth, we thought it was the dumbest crap ever, and most of us refuse to look into it. At least you guys are willing to look at it, even if you're trying to make fun of it. But that's how you become a flat earther. It's only when you look can you actually see. So, you know, the saying I have is you can lead a man to knowledge, but you can't make him think. Today, we're going to try to make you think a little bit. You said you're public educated, which means you're publicly indoctrinated. Because in school, how do you get an A? Thinking for yourself or just memorizing and regurgitating the bullshit that they put in the textbooks?
Ray never got an A, but
that's good. That's because you didn't even memorize, which is good. The higher educated you are, the more indoctrinated you are. So I want to tell you guys, this is my shirt. You're not stupid. It's stupid. Okay. And that's why you're not going to be able to figure out some of the stuff I'm telling you about the heliocentric model, because it's stupid. It makes no sense. Right.
Well, this is the Simple Mind Sports Show, so we want to keep it as simple as possible.
As simple as possible.
So we can understand it, and also
so I can understand it.
It's mostly Ray. Everything is dumbed down, so we call him the bottom of the totem pole of dumb. He keeps all of our dumbness in line, but our listeners are not much better. So
that's right.
That's where we're coming from. I do have a private higher education degree. I don't talk about it a whole lot, but I do have that too.
All right.
Okay. All right. Hold on.
Right. You guys know what Bitcoin is?
Springfield College.
That is. Bobby,
you guys know what Bitcoin is, right? Bitcoin. You know what Bitcoin is? So it's worth about what is it, 110,000 today, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give each one of you a Bitcoin if one of you guys can come up with a single proof we live on a globe. Okay,
you have 3 Bitcoin.
I have 3 Bitcoins. Normally I give 3 for one person, but there's 3 of you, so you guys can split it.
Perfect.
Okay. Great.
Okay. I call all the Bitcoin.
But I have no fear, because Earth is flat and the globe is so stupid that that you guys won't even be able to believe how stupid it is.
When did you? So I have a question, real quick. So when did you start realizing the Earth is flat? Like, obviously, you went through school and we all got taught it's on a globe. We're in outer space. We're in the Milky Way galaxy. When did you say, "Holy shit, no, the Earth's flat," and you just started diving into it?
Well, it wasn't that easy. You know, we're all indoctrinated to believe the Earth is a globe before we even go to school. I mean, if we watch Sesame Street, they're indoctrinating you with astronauts and all sorts of stuff. And they even put the truth in plain sight. If you look here, what's over here in the fiction section? You got a rocket and a globe. So this is called revelation of the method, where they always tell us the truth in shows and stuff. This is not by accident. This is fiction. Right? It's fiction. So when did it happen to me? I was doing a podcast. Come back on the screen with me. I was doing a podcast called Deep Inside the Rabbit Hole, looking into all of the major false flags and hoax events. And in the 3rd year, people started sending me flat Earth stuff. And I would just do as any smart person would do, is just delete those idiots from our social media and ban them for life, because flat Earth, that's just a step too far. I'll look into, no planes crashed anywhere on 9/11, and I'll go everywhere, but flat Earth was a step too far. It wasn't until another researcher, Sophia Smallstorm, forced me to look, because she said, "Dave, I think the Earth is flat," and I couldn't believe it. And so I went in just to disprove it. I want to disprove the flat Earth, prove the globe, and be done with this. That was 10 years ago. Here I am, Flat Earth Dave, talking to you guys on a sports show somehow. And this is the day where you're going to be at a fork in the road, and you have to take the choice. Are you going to continue looking, or are you going to try to put it all away and let it fester inside of you for the rest of your life and drive you crazy? All right. So
fair enough.
Yeah. So that was in 2014. And, here I am today trying to show the world. Now, when you think of flat Earth, this is what you think of, right?
Yeah, usually pizza disc tank kind of.
Yeah.
That's the idea. Yeah.
This is retarded. Nobody thinks this. Okay. Nobody thinks this.
Thank you. I have a lot of questions about that model there.
Yeah. Nobody thinks this. This is what they want you to think. Google flat Earth. This comes up. That's why everyone uses it for their thumbnail when they have a flat Earth. They're on like, oh, let me give you a flat Earth in space. And this is what comes up. This is the dumbest crap ever. right? Nobody thinks this except people that don't even know what flat Earth is, right? People say, well, we'll take a picture of your Earth. Go outside, take a picture. There's flat Earth. This is the balloon at 127,000 feet, okay? The Earth is supposed, and by the way, when you're up that high, the Earth is white because the atmosphere just becomes so thick you can't even see the Earth. But NASA gives us tricolor, multicolored pictures of Earth. It's crazy. We'll get into that. This sun is supposedly 93 million miles away, but for some reason it likes lighting up this area more than this area, right? This is a local light. This is right here inside of our atmosphere. What is it? Nobody knows. NASA, mainstream science says that we have a space vacuum, which means no pressure. And then we have helium and hydrogen that defy gravity, right? Helium and hydrogen balloons will go up, right? And when you open a soda can, it goes instantly equalizes high pressure to low pressure. But for some reason in space, helium and hydrogen will collapse and create a star that goes into thermonuclear fusion, burns 128 billion tons of fuel a minute or an hour or whatever it is, and it never gets any smaller. And somehow it holds on to Pluto, and somehow it holds on to our planet, but it ignores our moon. It's so stupid that I can't even explain it without
you brought up the moon, because is the moon also fake?
No, well, when you say fake, we can see it, but I don't believe that it's anything physical, right? I don't think it's a physical thing. So let me ask you guys some questions and see if you score better than when I was asked these questions when I first learned about flat Earth.
Are we going to get back to the moon being not physical, but also not fake?
Well, yeah, we'll get right to it right after this.
Okay.
How fast is the Earth spinning at the equator?
Like 1,000 miles an hour.
Very good. You nailed it. 100%. You're within, 1,034, right? How fast is it?
Bitches.
No, you watched a couple of my interviews, right?
Yes, he did.
Yeah, bingo.
How fast is it orbiting? How fast is it orbiting the sun?
How fast?
Yeah.
It's like 10 times that fast.
Well, very good. 66,600 miles an hour. So 60 times as fast. All right.
Jeez.
And how fast is it chasing the sun? Because the sun is traveling through the galaxy. About 500,000 miles an hour. Okay. So we're moving in 3 directions at once, all in curved directories, not straight like an airplane, right? Airplanes go straight and level, but it's curving in 3 different directions at once at speeds that you can't even fathom. And you don't feel anything. Makes no sense. Right. Just to give you an idea how fast that is. This is the hypersonic sled, rocket sled. Watch. Didn't even see it. It goes by at Mach 8.6. So you have to believe, if you believe we live on a globe, that we live on a lumpy rock, surrounded by curved water, which doesn't curve because we can measure that it doesn't curve, surrounded by high-pressure air that doesn't have a container, adjacent to a vacuum, which is scientifically impossible, moving 10 times faster than this around the sun and 100 times faster than that, chasing the sun. But when we go outside, we see stuff like this, right? All this is going on, and we see lakes that look like that.
Yeah, so that is described by the idiot globers that they will tell you that, what is it, relative motion? What's the scientific theory?
That something we're already in motion, so you don't even know it. So we could be going 10 million miles per hour as long as it's the same speed. But unfortunately, none of those speeds are straight. Curved is acceleration. If you're going 100 miles an hour in a car and it turns, that force is acceleration. If you had a dinner plate filled with water and you're in a car going 100 miles an hour, that car sped up, slowed down the tiniest bit, or took the tiniest turn, the water's gone. But we go out and see lakes like this.
But isn't the theory of what you just showed us that we are constantly in that? There is no jagged movement of Earth.
No, it's all curved. Every single motion, none of them are linear. They're all curved.
Yeah, but let me dumb this down to Ray. And in NASCAR, that car is moving left-hand turn all the time, and it would take a sudden jolt to disrupt that continuous.
No. Think about this. You're in the NASCAR. You're in the passenger seat.
You're moving, and you're still stationary at the same time.
You're in the passenger seat, and you have a dinner plate filled with water to the edge. Is the water going to stay in the plate?
You're in the passenger seat with water on the edge.
No, water on a plate. You have a dinner plate, so there's really no edge to it. It's just a little lip. And you fill it with water.
It would not when the car started, but if the car is constantly moving at the same speed.
So it's going to stay. It's going to stay in the plate around the corner.
If you're constantly moving and the plate is flat, I would.
And you're the smart one.
I would put that, yes.
You're the smart
it's
one.
It's going to take an acceleration to move that
Nope.
water.
No,
Dude.
it's gonna fall. It's gonna fall off. It's gonna
Thank
fall
you.
off.
Thank you.
I totally see how cults
If you're
start
on the
and how these
axis of
things
which
get
you're
going.
moving, it's going to stay there.
I
It's going
totally
to-
understand how this works.
Anyway,
How-
that's the first example.
Well,
Can we go?
Yeah,
going.
we'll go back, but I just want to say I want you to go in a car and have it take a turn while you're holding a plate of water at a constant speed and watch what happens to the water. Okay, it's going to go right off the plate.
It's generally some type of makeup that my wife is holding and gets all over the floor, and she said she'll clean it up.
All right, you want to go to the moon, right?
But yeah, the moon, which is
Let's
not
the moon.
fake, but also not physical.
Well, here's the question. We don't know anything. Any of the luminaries in the sky, sun, moon, stars, comets, whatever. Those are luminaries. The only thing that we can truly say about them, we can't say how far they are, how big they are. We can't even say the shape because you can't. They're just lights, and we see those lights. But when we go to a new moon, which means there's no light on the moon, no one has ever seen the moon after it goes into its new phase for, I think it's like 36 hours with an infrared telescope, from airplanes, from the International Fake Station. No one has ever seen it. And so it's just disappeared.
I heard that, Dave. That was good.
Thank you. And there's evidence that at certain times you can see stars through the moon. Now, are you seeing them through the moon? Are they in front of the moon? I mean, the luminaries that we see in the sky make no sense. Let me ask you a question. You guys ever go stargazing up on a mountaintop?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sounds romantic.
Really
So,
nice.
Generally, on a beach, and we're holding each other's hands.
yeah. So when you go up on a mountaintop away from the city, you see the stars are nice and clear and beautiful because you're up above all the light pollution and everything. So we launched a balloon in Arizona, and we had high-def cameras looking up, and it was a clear night. And before it even took off, we could see the Milky Way, tons of stars. So as it goes up, what's going to happen to the stars? They're going to get brighter and clearer because we're getting above the thickest part of the atmosphere. That's what should happen, right?
You would think so.
But as it hit 40, 50, 60, 70,000 feet, all of the stars disappeared.
Do you have video?
Yeah, there's video of it. But all the stars...
Sorry, explain. So as the balloon is rising, you're in the balloon, you're looking at the stars.
No, we're not in the balloon. We just have a camera. But the stars just all fade out and disappear. I couldn't tell you why, but the heliocentric model makes no sense. It doesn't make any sense. They should get brighter and clearer. Probably not bigger because they're allegedly trillions of miles away, but it gets bigger. And if today's consumer optics have outgrown their lies, this is a star. If you zoom in on a star, this is a star. That's not the definition they gave us in school.
It's not. And you bring up a point as I already slipped down the rabbit hole. When they show us those fake pictures from space, you don't, and there's a reason for this, or at least I've read a reason for this. There's a reason why you don't see stars in photographs of astronauts in space or the space station or the moon. And I don't know what that reason is at this point. I probably should have looked that up.
So,
but you get to your point, you can see, billions of stars from atop of a mountain. But when you get outside the atmosphere, or they say they do, there's no, you would think that would be peppering the sky.
You think that, right? And the moon missions, never once did they point the video camera at the Earth. When you're flying in an airport and you're coming into your home flying in an airplane, you're coming to your home airport, and you see your house. What do you say to the stranger, to the seat next to you? You don't even know him. You're like, hey, that's my house right there. See it? Right? You're excited. On the moon, they never once said the word Earth. They didn't say, holy fucking shit, look at the Earth. Oh, my God. Right? They never said the word Earth, and they never pointed the video camera at the Earth. Not once in all the moon missions.
Well, there's no way you believe they landed on the moon.
Thank God you don't either. So this is from NASA. So you guys, normally, if you said you guys lived in the moon, this would believe that we went to the moon. This interview, we go a whole separate direction. These are 9 pictures from NASA. So what that means is at least 8 of them are fake because they can't all be real. So why is NASA showing us fake images of the Earth? Right?
Wait, what? Explain. Hash that out. Why
NASA's published those 9 images, and they're all of different contrasts. You're saying?
Yeah, not just the colors, the shapes. Look at the size of the United States here. Both of these discs are the same size, right? The United States is twice the size in this picture, maybe even 3 times. And the United States is right here, right? So what does that tell us?
I don't know. Have they released any explanation for that, or they're just?
No, they don't at all. If you look at this, here is the 2012 picture of the Earth. So you got United States, Mexico, a little bit of South America. So if we line it up here, this is what we can see on that ball. You have to believe all of this land is on the other side of that ball. Does that make any sense?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And if we go to the other side of the ball, all of this land is supposed to be on the other side of the ball. So this tells you that these are paintings.
Well, I don't think that tells us those are paintings, but I understand the theory behind why it could be referred to as painted, because there's no context in which what that ball is, other than, this is a picture from NASA. Like, we need to have a scale. We need to understand what they're trying to say the distance is from that ball to whatever.
Well, it doesn't matter. The ball is the same size, therefore it is in context. But if you say you need a scale, here's a scale. Okay, so we can't tell you what we're seeing other than, hey, this is Mexico and Baja. We could actually drive across Mexico, measure the distance from end to end, and it's 934 miles. So according to the globe religion, this is 934 miles. So this bar represents 934 miles, which is right here. And the radius, diameter of the Earth, from here to here, I should be able to fit 8.5 of these in between here, straight across, right? And 8.5 doesn't even fit on this entire slide. No, so what does that tell you?
It tells us that picture is askew for some reason.
Askew. So NASA has a skewing problem.
I don't think you can take askew and make it skewing, but I'm here for it. But there is a problem with whatever you're showing us, certainly. And if it's official, if NASA's putting that as an official photo of the Earth,
it is
based on that, then yes, there's clearly a problem with it. And there's an explanation needed. I need a beer.
You're gonna need a beer. Here's two other pictures. Just the United States looks weird. They're both the same size. It doesn't make any sense. I'm trying to find.
So why the disinformation? Why are we being fed this? What is there?
That feels like an end of interview question, Bobby. That feels like a.
I need some context to understand the details.
I normally judge people by how fast they get to that question. You got to it pretty fast. I give you a B+. All right.
I got a B+.
So here is the 2012 picture, United States, Mexico. We'll lay it down on this. This is a map of the world where all the continents are supposedly the correct size. So that fits right here perfectly. All of this is on the other side of this. There's a skewing problem, right? Or a complete and total fraudulent fakery problem.
I can understand where you're coming from there. Yeah.
NASA admits they have no photos of Earth. And the guy that did the blue marble that was on everyone's iPhone when the first iPhones came out, he admitted that he made it in Photoshop. He said, this was on everyone's iPhone. And he said, well, I just got data and I made it on Photoshop. And because it has to be. That's his famous quote. But if you zoom in on these clouds here, we can see that he's very lazy. Step and repeat clouds. He's just made it in Photoshop. Here's absolute proof. Why are they doing that? Why don't they have a picture of Earth? They got a picture of Jupiter. They got a picture of.
But that's just some asshole working from Apple.
That's for NASA. He's a NASA employee, not an Apple employee.
But you said that's the little marble that they used for.
But they used his photo on the phone. He even said in an interview when he got his iPhone, he's like, "That's my photo." He didn't even know that they were going to use it on the iPhone. But he's the one that made the photo and did an interview about it. That he worked for NASA, and put it out there.
Still an asshole.
I get it. I again, things can fall into three baskets in this discussion. Works on a globe Earth, works on a flat Earth, or works on both. Lots of things work on both. But what you're going to find is nothing falls into that first basket. Nothing. Because if one thing did, you guys get 3 Bitcoins. And nothing falls into that basket.
This feels like he's already made that call.
Well, I did because I've done the research. I've been doing it for over 10 years and 24/7. So I'm up for new information. If you guys can point me to like you
No,
guys
no,
say,
no. We are not here. We are not here at the Burden of Truth. This is a turn me show. You need to turn
yeah,
us.
no,
I
us.
get it. I'm going to turn you. So let's go with this. Let's take turns. Each of you tell me the reason that you think the Earth is a globe. Right? Gun to your head, is the Earth flat or globe? You say globe. Why?
Because that's what I was taught. That's what I was taught.
That's what I was taught. So do you realize that's a fallacy? Just you're letting someone else tell you what you should know.
Yeah, for me, the reason is why would we be lied to about it? That's why.
Okay, so you walk into a room and there's 20 dead people hacked with an axe. They're all dead. It's bloody room. And you go, why would anyone do this? I don't believe it. Right? Because I'm going to show you bloody murders today. I'm going to show you all of the globe evidence. And the question is, why? Well, we can speculate on that because we're not them, but I have a pretty damn good answer. Save it for the end, or I can give it to you now. It's up to you.
Save it for the end. Let's go.
Okay.
Everybody's got to hang on tight. I just want to know, because I am interested in your model, but we're going to go through the full debunking of the globe and then get to your, the actual flat theory, because that would be that's what I'm interested in, actually seeing the way that
right,
your understanding is of it.
So this is Mars through the P1000 Nikon super zoom camera. It's a little out of focus, but that's Mars. Not what NASA shows you, right? That's what Mars looks like. And this is Mercury. So this is what NASA wants you to tell Mercury looks like, but this is what it really looks like, right? And why are all the planets named after ancient gods, right? It's kind of weird, don't you think? A little strange. This is the famous picture of Jupiter from 2014. We all remember this picture. It's in every science book. But in 2016, NASA goes, hey, we saw the northern lights, which means that Jupiter has a magnetic core just like Earth. Okay? But every cloud is exactly the same. Look at the clouds. They're exactly the same. This is supposedly a spinning storm, right? That's bigger than like 10 Earths or whatever. It's like huge. And it's been spinning forever. But they want you to believe that all of the clouds didn't change in over 2.5 years.
So the latest photos of Jupiter do have the red.
Yeah, they all do. They all
diluting. Do. No. They have it diluting, and people were up in arms about, well, we thought this was going to go forever, and they said, well, no, it's an active storm. It's actually fading. It's getting smaller.
Do I need to put my cool story bro glasses on? Because that is a cool story. This is the Voyager going into Jupiter. This is either days, hours, or weeks, whatever. But look at the storm; it's changing. These clouds are going this way. These are going that way.
All right, you cool stormy, bro. So I'm going to come back on the attack here. So we can have Voyager, right? And Mercury's cool, and the moon is there, but it's just a light. We're not sure; it's fake. We don't really know what the fuck is going on. But Mercury's there; it's definitely a planet. Looks round, is round. Mars there; it's a planet. Looks round. Voyager, it's out there. Got the pictures. We're using that for proof. But is space real? We're not really sure. We don't know. It kind of bullshit. We've never been to space. A moon landing for sure, fake. So it seems like we're bouncing in between where you're getting your information.
Hold on. You said that planets are real. Like, where do you get your information from? Because I'm just showing you NASA fakery. So the only other place to get images of planets are from Disney. They're more credible than NASA. You just showed us
your sick Nikon camera that had the Mercury, whatever you.
Yeah, but does that look like a terra firma? That looks like a light. It looks like an energetic, sentient light. If you ask me, I think it's alive.
My number one question I had is what are stars and what is space? Or in your model, there's no comprehension of it yet.
Well, what are stars in your model?
Well, stars are what we've been told of. What you said was impossible to happen in the void of space of helium and gases coming together and creating a massive ball of burning fire.
Where do stars come from? Do you know?
Stars come from
nebulas.
It was the formation of gas and dust that combust in some sort of fusion to create energy.
Yeah, you were shown this picture in school. It's called the Crab Nebula, and they say this is a star factory. It's dust and gas in space. How do you have that? How do you
not have it though? How do you not, like, where's the alternative thought is my question.
Right. So gas by nature violently fills the available space. Always. There's no example anywhere except in made up Narnia space that it doesn't do that. And so this is supposedly gas and dust, and this produces stars. So the story is, like a little rock will be in there and goes, hey, I got a little gravity, or there's a cluster of helium and goes, hey, I got enough gravity, give me more helium, and it starts collapsing and collapsing and collapsing and collapsing. It gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger until there's so much gravity that it bursts into a nuclear furnace. Then it says, okay, I'm done getting bigger. Now the nebula has to spit it out like a ping pong ball machine, and it has to go park itself somewhere in the galaxy. That's the official story. Makes no sense. Don't try to figure it out because it's stupid. Why didn't the whole thing just collapse and be one giant star?
But I don't understand why it's stupid.
Because how does this produce stars and not just become one big star? How do you have gas in space, right? These are just made up stories. Right.
I don't think, but I think science would say it's not made up, and they have mathematical equations.
I would think that have something to do with gravity, which is also a difficult concept for me to grasp.
The point I'm trying to make, and I'm not trying to turn this into an argument, I do want to get turned, is I think the baseline of this not working for you is space is, how'd you put it, a made up Narnia space, and there's no believing it is what it's been taught to be, or what scientists say that it is, which goes to Bobby's bigger question of why.
All right, we're going to get to the why very, very shortly. But what evidence do you have? And that any star has never been seen other than a pixel of light in a photograph or in a telescope. It's just a pixel of light. They've never seen anything else about a star other than a pixel of light. Now, this is from the James Webb telescope, right? This I made in a free iPhone app, okay? Honestly, to be honest, I forget which one of these I made, but two of them are James Webb and the other one's mine. Like, you can't tell the difference, right? The James Webb telescope is ridiculous, right?
But what's the point you're trying to make?
The point I'm saying is
that it's made by people. Like, that's not a real photograph.
Well, I can make up anything. So I have never seen dinosaurs. Am I supposed to believe that they were not real as well? Like, we're moving towards if I can't touch and I can't see it, then it doesn't count.
It's probably a good rule. But do you know the story about dinosaurs? So in all of the megalithic,
are we going to get to you don't believe in dinosaurs? Because that would be.
Well, just let me just tell you this, right? All of the megalithic, pyramids, all the ancient civilizations before us, all the information we have, no one ever found a dinosaur bone or mentioned dinosaurs at all, ever. But in the mid 1800s, some royal guy wrote a paper speculating about dinosaurs. And then a year later to the date, he and his team allegedly found the first dinosaur. Do you know that no dinosaur heads have ever been found? They find like a bone on top of a mountain, one like vertebrae, and they say, oh, that's a Tyrannosaurus Rex. They're just making shit up, right? There were giant animals. There was dragons, right? There was all sorts of stuff. But dinosaurs, go get two Stegosaurus dolls and tell me how they made it, right? It makes no sense.
If you ever saw Bobby's parents, you would ask the same question,
right? Did you see this? This came out of I think it was NASA.
Real quick, Google dinosaur head 2011 dinosaur head skull found in UK. Jurassic.
Yeah, but go look at it. It's just like the Lucy missing link. They find out that it's fake afterwards, right? Everything that's key, they find it's fake. So
that's true. There has never been an intact dinosaur head. It's just the bones in museums, and then they just add the head just to make the full.
It's effect. Not even. They find like two bones and they build a whole dinosaur out of it.
The whole thing.
Right. And people look at it like structural engineers. Like, there's no way they could even hold their guts in with those ribs. There's no way they could balance. There's no way they could mate. None of it makes any sense. This was released by NASA as a close-up of a star in a trillion miles away or whatever it is, and then it found out that it's really he just did it as a joke, and it's a picture of chorizo sausage. It's literally chorizo sausage, but all the mainstream media published it as a star. Okay, it's just a slice of sausage. Right?
I'm not here. We're not here to back mainstream media by any means. They can be duped by the likes of us.
Good for you.
Yeah, exactly. We've been doing it for a while.
That's not going to go very long.
Let me ask you a question. This is a little more involved, but it's pretty easy. So here's the sun, and here's the Earth, and it goes around in a year. So if you're on this spot on the Earth right here, looking out that way, that's midnight, okay? Because noon is looking this way at the sun. Make sense?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So when you look out here, you see all the stars on that side of the room, whatever's on that side of the room, we'll call those the stars. 6 months later, you're over here on the other side of the sun, and you look that way, and you see the same stars. How's that possible? Not all the same stars, because there is some of them are in the day sky, but you can see many of the same stars. It makes no sense. It makes no sense.
I have no retort.
Okay, good, man. Listen, the ball religion is hard to let go. Nobody wants to release their ball. But if you say, why the lie is the greatest one. So when you're a baby, your parents probably, if you put a mobile of planets above your bed, you probably had, galaxy, NASA sheets and stuff. And then they put you in front of the TV, Sesame Street, it has the astronauts on it. Disney is all spaced and planets. And school, they got a globe up there. And literally they're brainwashing you. And when you try to take a ball away from a baby, it's bad. But then try taking it away from a grown man that built his whole life around it, loves outer space, right? Loves aliens, right? Loves the whole extraterrestrial thing. You're not taking that away, because extraterrestrials are here on the extra terra, here on Earth. Land that you're unaware of, that's being hidden.
Is that lizard people? Are you talking about lizard people?
No, I'm not, but I'm not ruling that out either.
We're talking about beyond the ice wall, I think, which is where I'd like to get to, because
the ice wall.
So we're going to go there, but
the globe is, but
okay, again,
go ahead.
No, but again, we're going to get there, but we don't need to go beyond the ice wall to prove the Earth is flat. We can prove that here, right? And we're going to do that. We're going to do that. So here's something. On a ball, whatever the size it is, there's only a certain distance that you can see before there's curvature. And the curvature is like solid curvature. You can't see my mouth because it's behind the curvature, right? Zooming in isn't going to bring it back because there's solid curvature. But on a flat Earth, things are just perspective, and it comes where the sky and the ground meet because due to perspective. And then if you zoom in, you can open it up and see a little farther. But the horizon is an optical thing. But on a ball, on a clear day, there should be physical horizon. So large bodies of water at rest need containment. You can't have a gallon of water or more without a container, right? You can't. Can you think of a way to have a gallon of water without a container? No. So it needs a container. So here's a lake, a reservoir, whatever. At rest, it lies flat. At cold, it freezes flat, and you have flat ice. So we're on the ice. We got a camera 6 inches off the ice. We put these 4 lights out there at 8 miles, 7 miles, 6 miles, and 5 miles away. Now, that doesn't sound far, but the Earth, the size it is, according to globe math, there should be more than 30 feet of curvature blocking this one, like that ball was blocking my mouth, 22 feet, 15 feet, and 9 feet. But we can see them all, and they all look to be at the same level. Now, you would have to believe that this one is here's on a flat Earth. We can just see the lights at those distances. But on a globe Earth, you have to believe that your tangent to where the Earth curve starts, that this one's refracting up, this one's refracting up farther, this one's refracting up farther, this one's refracting up 30 feet, and they magically stop on this line tangent to where your eyes are. That is impossible. At night, no humidity, refraction, smaction. It's nonsense. Why don't they refract up higher in the sky so we see them floating in the sky like stars if they're refracting? They're not.
Refract this, you fucking idiots. But can we, speaking of idiots, can we just dial back to what, again, we're talking to simpletons here.
Yep.
The entire theory we're talking about here, because we're a little bit beyond what is actually happening. So what is refraction supposed to be doing in the globe model?
Yeah, in the globe model, they have they call a refraction calculator. They say, okay, I have a real height of 6 feet tall, so it's a 6 foot tall person standing at the edge of calm water, and I want to see a target that's 10 miles away. And they'll say, well, there's 66 feet of curvature at that distance, right? Minus the 6 feet viewer height, so 60. So at 10 miles, the whatever's there would need to be taller than 60 feet to see it over the horizon, right? But if you can see the whole thing, you take the refraction bar on their globe calculator and you slide it up until it says that you can see the whole thing, and they go, that's the amount of refraction, right? So we actually did it where we said, okay, we're at 10,000 feet. We want to see something 24,901 miles around, which is the whole radius of the Earth. And it told us what the refraction is so we can see the back of our head. It's stupid. It's a Narnia slide to make their stupid globe religion work. Okay?
So
It's
then,
a
just to
Narnia
be
slide.
clear, you under the theory, with whatever camera you have, would be able to see as far as possible. You could see whatever is out there as long as there's nothing blocking your view, basically, right?
Well, the air actually blocks your view. So if we were standing in front of each other and I had a pane of glass perfectly clear and there was no glare on it, it would kind of be hard to see the glass. But if I put 2 panes of glass there, it gets a little foggy. Put 10 panes of glass, I can kind of see you, but you're a little distorted. Put 100 panes of glass, can't even shine a light through it. Okay? And so that's what happens. Light attenuates, which means it gets absorbed into the atmosphere. So let me show you what that looks like with the sun. Right. So here we have, if I can find it, 1 second. See too far. So here we have a viewer. This is in Illusion, France. We're looking out at over the ocean, and Mount Canigou is out here at 175 miles away, but you can't see it because the top of Mount Canigou from this elevation at that distance should be over a half a mile below a physical curve. And you can't see it. But on the flat Earth model, the sun migrates into the northern solstice on the June 21st, and then out to Capricorn on December 21st. And it goes back and forth. And twice a year, it lines up with the viewer and Mount Canigou. So you don't see the light that's bouncing off of Mount Canigou, because the light that's bouncing off of Mount Canigou is not strong enough to push through 175 miles of soupy atmosphere. However, the sun is much brighter, and it is bright enough to push through the atmosphere. And when it goes beyond Mount Canigou, it backlights it. So the very top of Mount Canigou here, jump forward a little bit, should be over a half a mile below the curve. Here's the globe explanation for this. The mountain is below the curve. The sun has already set. But the sun is refracting up like it did on the ice, and the mountain that has no light on it is refracting up and blocking the refracted sun. Don't try to figure that out because it's friggin' retarded, all right? It's stupid. But that's their only explanation. It's their only explanation why we can see too far. Here's another one. This is the Alps, and it's hard to see these mountains here, but if we zoom in on this, these are over 700 miles away. Right, these mountains. And from this location, there should be over, and I rounded down, it's closer to 60, 50 miles. 50 miles of curvature.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. No.
No, I'm just saying what the elevation, like where is, when is elevation taken into account?
So the elevation is always calculated in, but no matter what the elevation is, the elevation would have to be the tallest mountain of the world. You shouldn't be able to see these, right? What's the height of Everest? 14? Is it 14 miles or 14,000 feet? What is it? Whatever it is. Whatever it is.
They do say you can't see Kilimanjaro. You can't see K2 from Nepal. You can't see those two mountain ranges.
Right, because of the continuation of the light. The light will just becomes the ground becomes opaque. I mean, not the ground. The air becomes opaque, and you just can't see it. There's two things: the air becomes opaque, and the things get so small that you just can't see them. They literally go into the horizon. You can't see them.
Okay, but and I don't know the distance between Everest and like K2, but I don't think it's as far as. Right,
here's an example of what you're talking about.
Like, when is there a calculated distance of when air becomes too cloudy to where?
It's harder to see more than 100 miles. It's hard to see more than 100 miles. This is from Malibu in California, and this is Mount San Jacinto, and you can see the whole mountain. The bottom is more obscured because of the thickness of the atmosphere and pollution, but the top of the mountain is just over 7,000 feet. Well, there should be 7,000 feet of curvature, so we shouldn't see any of this. Now, this is with an infrared lens, which can cut through the haze, and we can see it. But if you didn't have an infrared lens, all you see is blue sky, and the mountain is completely not there. But it is there, but you can't see the light without an infrared camera. So it's there. There's no excuse for this whatsoever, other than the Earth is 1,000 times bigger than they tell us. Then maybe you'd be able to see it because the curvature would be less, as it's a bigger ball, right? But if the Earth is 1,000 times bigger, that means there's 8,000 continents. Maybe. Who knows?
All right, can we get into that? Can we look at what your flat Earth looks like?
Can I ask a question real quick?
Oh god.
Sure.
So how do the seasons happen? So like I'm in New England right now. It's wintertime and it's very cold and we have snow because we're further away from the sun. But you're saying that with the whole globe and we're floating through space and that's why it happens. But you're on the belief that we don't. So like, where does the weather come from? Like, why is it?
Yeah. So that's a great question. Where in New England are you? I'm in Connecticut.
Oh, I'm in New Hampshire.
That's
Bobby's from New
Connecticut too.
Bobby's in Connecticut.
All right, nice. And it's cold here. It sucks. Today is freezing. I hate it. Okay, it's brutal. So when you're
Both of
near,
you assholes could destroy the 95 corridor through Bridgeport, I would gladly believe in whatever Earth you want.
Yeah. So on a now follow this. This isn't. I'm going to go through a couple things here. It's easy. You guys are way smarter than the ability to follow this. If the sun is 93 million miles away, so you got a 93 million miles away in the morning, and it's cold. And then in the afternoon, you have a 93 million mile away sun, and it's warmer. And then in the afternoon, you have a 93 million mile away sun. So there's no difference in the distance of the sun, no significant difference, right? Because this is a couple of 1,000 miles, whatever, not even 100 miles. And it's cold, or it doesn't matter if you stayed still. So the sun is on the ball Earth is the same distance from you all day long. Cold, warm, cold. Well, on a flat Earth, in the morning, we have a distant local sun, distant, but it's local. And then it's way closer in the afternoon and it's hot. And then it gets farther away again as it's moving across the Earth, right? Far, cold, warm, close, cold, far, right? So that's how it works. So this is what it looks like on a Mercator map. So this is in June, right? We're here. You're in New Hampshire. I'm in Connecticut. The sun's close to us. It goes across the Tropic of Cancer, which is really a circle. I'll show you that in a second. And in the winter, right now, we just passed the the December solstice. Look how far the sun is from us. We're here. The sun's way over here, which means it's low in the sky. If you go out on a road with streetlights, you're standing under a streetlight. That's your summer sun. The streetlight down the road, which isn't above you, it's lower, but it's really the same height. It just looks lower. That's your winter sun. It's farther away. It's lower. So this is what it looks like on a flat Earth. In June, the sun does this, and it's close to us for a long time. That's why we have longer days. And then in the winter, it's out here, where it's summer out here, and it's farther from us, so it's lower in the sky, so we have much shorter days because it only will be above visible when it's a certain distance from us. So that made sense, right? That wasn't too confusing, no?
It does, but then how does the sun set?
Hold on. Oh, that's a great question.
Hold on. So I have a question on that map. So does the speed of the sun change?
It changes, absolutely, and we can talk about that. So
do we know how?
No.
Okay.
The sun, I don't think is a physical object. But if you had a flashlight and you pointed it on the floor 3 feet in front of you, and then you spun around at a rotation speed of 1 minute per rotation, you just drew a 6-foot diameter circle with that sun, right? That would be your Tropic of Cancer circle. And it took 1 minute to go around, and it made that smaller circle. And if you just pointed it 6 feet out and did the same rotation, you just did a 12-foot diameter circle. At the same time, the sun is going much faster, but you were rotated at the same speed. So that's one explanation. But so in the summer, we have longer and longer days until June, and then after June, they get shorter and shorter. Well, if the Earth is a globe, as our days get shorter, people at equal latitude south, their days should get longer, but it's not. Everyone has their own length of their day, but the time between sunset and summer here in the north, when the sun sets, you can't see it anymore. We have twilight for almost 2 hours, right? New Hampshire, like 2 hours, it's still light. But in the winter, as soon as the sun sets, 10 minutes, it's dark, right? That's because the sun is going faster. But everywhere on Earth, from June to December, has shortening times from sunset to pitch black. And then everywhere on Earth, from sunset to blackness, from December to June, has longer times. That shows that the sun is speeding up for everybody and slowing down for everybody. So we're outside. It's freezing cold. You're laying down. You're a woman, by the way, and you're freezing cold. It's
That's
cold
for you,
outside.
Ryan.
Yeah. So somebody comes over and holds a heat lamp directly above you. Okay. So that
She's
is
a slutty woman.
yeah. So that's directly above you, right? It's directly above you. I'm over here. I'm cold because the sun's far away and it's lower in the sky for me. So this person's going to walk towards me, and it's keeping the sun at the same height. And I watched it get higher and higher and higher. And this person watched it get lower and lower and lower from their point of view. My summer, their winter. Their summer, my winter. It's very simple. Seasons.
I like how you explain things using like these common observational terms and like measuring things in ways that we could do it. But you've mentioned things that flat Earth theory can't explain. What is it that you need in order to get an explanation for those things? How would you find out why the sun changes speed?
And also why it's not real.
I would say it's not real. Nobody knows what it is. The thing is, falsification is independent of replacement, right? Like if we can falsify how the lunar eclipse happens, we don't have to tell you why it did. Like let's say I accuse Rich of stealing the last cookie from my cookie jar, right? And then you guys said no, Rich was in Australia and you proved it to me. And I go, nope, he did it until you can tell me who else did it. Right. And if you can't tell me who else did it, then he's guilty. That's stupid. That's called falsification is independent of replacement.
Completely disregarding centuries of science that have.
What science?
The science that has been put in place by
what
scientists.
Science? You mean the science?
I mean, we can go into the scientists. We do have a Google machine and we have encyclopedias. We have thousands and thousands of fucking years of scientists actually putting things in tests and putting them to the actual test. Okay, I know you're going to say it's all fake and pseudo, and they're deep in their boiling our brains with fake knowledge, and everyone should wake up. However, what you missed in that analogy of me stealing the cookie is there was 1,000 people that watched me steal the fucking cookie. And then you have to convince everybody that those people are liars and they're conspiratists and they're stupid and what they did was wrong and it was all inaccurate and everything about everything that everyone's known for almost 2,500 years in their experiments is wrong.
Okay, so let's talk about one of those experiments.
I haven't heard that yet.
Do you want to tell me one of those experiments?
No, I don't know them. It's a Simple Minds sports show, but I do know there's 2,000 years of them that got us to our point, and there's a ton of people that still believe it, and a bunch of brilliant people, whether you think they're wrong or not, that very much believe that it's true, unless you think everybody in that field is just fucking lying, which a conspiracy, a global conspiracy that large, feels pretty impossible to.
Yeah, you think
conspiracy is hard.
You think that. So let's talk about that. So the thing that you might be alluding to and not even know it is Eratosthenes. Hey everybody, a quick message that I'd like to share with all of you. Our lives are filled with toxins in our air, food, and even in the information we're taught. Avoiding them all is impossible, but helping your body detox doesn't have to be complicated. That's where Masterpiece comes in. Just 5 drops under your tongue twice a day, and that's it. Super easy, super simple, and it doesn't even taste bad. I've tried countless supplements, and while generally I'm pretty healthy, I didn't really feel much of an effect. But with Masterpiece, it delivered noticeable benefits. Check out the podcast I did with Terry from Masterpiece, linked below this video, or you can find links directly to Masterpiece on my website, flatearthdave.com, or in the shopping section on the app. The key to health is to detoxify. Now back to the show. You not even know it is Eratosthenes, 2,000 years ago in Greece, figured out the size of the Earth with his famous sticks and shadows experiment. You guys know that? So this is what we're taught in school.
And he walks the shadow around, and in whatever the calculation had. Yeah, we're not smart enough to actually know what the thing means.
So I'll tell you what it is. This is 2,000-year-old proof. Globers love using it, things from thousands of years ago that can't be proven, but we can disprove it. So let's disprove it. So Eratosthenes noticed on a certain day of the year that he can see the sun reflecting in the bottom of a well, which means that the sun is directly above the well. That's good science, testable, repeatable, observable. So then he said, you know what? If the Earth is a globe and my friend was 500 miles away and I held a stick straight up in the ground, it would have no shadow. And if he had a shadow, we can do some really good math and figure it out. So the sun rays all come in parallel, right? Because that's what they tell us, that they come in parallel because the sun is so far away, even though no one's ever seen parallel sun rays. They always come in what's called crepuscular. But we'll forget that. And so here's Eratosthenes. Here's Eratosthenes. He's got a sun ray coming in. He's got no shadow. His buddy is 500 miles away. And by the way, his buddy walked the 500 miles. He counted his steps to know he was 500 miles. And somehow they were able to communicate to do the measurement at the exact same time. But he put his stick straight up and there was a shadow. And they measured the length of the shadow, did some math, and he got it within 2% of what we say it is today. Amazing. Now, he should be the most famous mathematician, but there was many mathematicians that wrote books out of that area for hundreds of years after, and they never, ever mentioned him. It's weird that Eratosthenes has never been mentioned in any book until the mid-1900s, but that's just weird, right? But on a flat Earth, we have a small local sun, and so we have no shadow here, Eratosthenes. His buddy is over here. He's got a shadow, and we can do the exact same math and figure out the sphericity of the Earth, and it would be the same. So it works on both. Here, you can do it yourself. Beer can here with a shadow. We got the light over this beer can, almost no shadow. And you could do math to figure out the sphericity of this table. So this is what's taught in school right now as proven science, which is pseudoscience. So you got a little heated. You said there's thousands and thousands of science. This is one of them. I just disproved it. Do you have another one? Because I have another one if you don't.
I don't know if, first, frankly, I don't know if you disproved it. Your disproof was thousands of years ago. Who can trust it? It's bullshit. They walked 500 miles.
That's not, you didn't follow. I have no shadow here and a shadow here using the same logic.
There is a shadow there on the very one.
If I move the light over just a tiny bit more, there would be no shadow.
Well, then why would you give us a demonstration that's not accurate to what you're trying to prove? There is.
I have a question.
Okay. Stop. Here, no shadow. See the shadow? And I could do the math, the same math Eratosthenes did, and figure out the sphericity of this flat floor. Okay. So what I'm showing you is it's pseudoscience. There is no science of the globe, or I'd be out 3 Bitcoins.
Yeah,
I have a lot smarter people.
And
keep saying you're not smart because you are smart. You just don't want to use your mind.
You are smart, baby. Yeah. I have a question. Where did tides come from?
Tides.
Because,
that's another good one.
Thank you.
So tides. So tides. Tides. So tides.
Because tides come from the moon. They tell us that the moon is what's pulling it. Yeah.
This is what they tell us, right? So they tell us that the moon pulls the water away from the Earth and creates a high tide bulge. Okay, cool story. And then there's a low. So it's every 6 hours. So this is high tide, low tide, and on the other side of the Earth, there's a high tide. Do you know the official story why there's another high tide on the other side of the Earth? This is the official story that Neil deGrasse Tyson teaches people, right? The moon is pulling the water away from the Earth. And because this water on this side is so far away, it's actually pulling the Earth away from the water, creating a bulge on the other side. And then the Earth rotates in between those bulges. Don't try to figure it out because it's stupid, right? It's stupid, right? And then we have clouds with trillions of pounds of water in it that float in the air. That doesn't make any sense, right? And so here's the issue, right? You got the sun and the moon. Let me go over here. So you got the sun over here and the moon over here. So this moon is pulling a high tide. Well, the sun has gravity too, and it has more gravity than the moon. So shouldn't there be a high tide over here? Then the moon comes around. We'll bring them over to this side, right? So you got the sun and the moon over here. So it's a new moon. Can't see the moon. Now you have the sun's gravity and the moon's gravity. There should be higher tides, but there's only the highest tides are when there's a full moon. That's when the sun and the moon are on opposite sides and sharing the tug. But when they're both together, there should be massive tides, and there's not. Right? So that's problem number one. Right?
Well, that's because the sun is so much further away and the moon is so much closer.
But the
and
sun
then on a full moon,
sun
you're
has
closer
more
to the moon because the Earth is on an axis, so you're closer to the moon.
Yeah, but the sun's gravity is way stronger than the moon's gravity, and when they're both working together, the tides aren't as high when they're actually pulling on other sides. The sun can hold on to Pluto, but the moon can't hold on to Pluto, right? And so there's also another thing called tidal. This one called tidal nodes, right? So all of these red dots are tidal nodes where there is no tide, and then high tides and low tides circle around them, which completely blows away the moon theory. And if you look, if you match it up to the magnetic fields of the Earth, these tidal nodes match up with the magnetic nodes, right? It's very interesting. But again, we falsified the moon's gravity as the cause of the tides. Now, I do believe that the moon has something to do with the tides, because when the moon is powered up, salt water is affected by it, not fresh water. Salt water is affected by it because we live in an electrical system. The Earth is a giant battery. The sun and the moon are the anode and cathode, and only the salt water is affected because it carries the current.
When you say salt water, you mean oceans.
Oceans, salt water, correct.
Salt water in a cup at tides is not going to be affected by the moon, but oceans are affected because they are larger bodies of water. And there are tides on Lake Michigan. You can affect Lake Michigan has changing tides. That's fresh water. So when you say salt water, you just mean oceans, and that's because it's a bigger body of water. Therefore, we can feel the effect. But we are approaching an hour, Dave, and I do want to see your model of the Earth, which we have yet to see. That would be where we'd want to go, and then eventually get to the big lie.
Yeah. So as far as a model, we've modeled the sun. All right, we've done sun tracking. We did a 24-hour live stream, and we had everybody that had the sun over them call into the live stream and show us the sun. And so wherever the sun is, it's noon, and we show that it does go around the Earth in a circle over the azimuthal equidistant map. And so right now in December, we're out here near the Tropic of Capricorn. But if I jump forward 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so it goes in June. It's in here. And all of these places will tell us, if wherever you see the sun, it's there. So we know what it does in between the shorelines of Antarctica, okay? In between the shorelines. We don't know what it does out here. We just recently got an observation that the sun does circle or appears to circle, depending on what was seen out in Antarctica. So the sun appears to be in an apparent position. So this is simply how it works. If you look at
okay, so we've got the round sun. We're not sure exactly how it works, and we're not sure exactly if the sun is physical or not. Same with the moon. We haven't touched on Antarctica, which is a good piece. Bobby, I know you've had a question on that. Go ahead.
Yes, the ice wall. What is the ice wall, and what is behind that ice wall?
Yeah. So have you guys heard of the Antarctic Treaty?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. So the Antarctic Treaty says there's no free and independent exploration of Antarctica. And Antarctica, even if there was, it's really a tough place to navigate around. But let's look at Antarctica. So where is it? So if you look at the average height of all the continents of the world, Antarctica is the highest continent by over double. So Antarctica is the shoreline of our world that holds our oceans in. Remember, water needs containment. Whoops, not showing it to you yet. Water needs containment. It's the shoreline of our ocean, right? Water needs containment. So the question is, what's out here in the outer space? And again,
whoa. Let's not get to the outer space yet. I know Bobby asked that question, but dive back. So Antarctica is the highest, the tallest, the highest. How did you define it?
It's the average height of Antarctica is over double the average height of any other continent.
All right. Well, the obvious Ray's brain went to Mount Everest. So when
I'm going with what it is. Is he saying the frisbee's upside down in the cup, so the water's holding it all in? So there's a big ice wall, and Antarctica is going all the way around. Is what he's trying to say.
Antarctica is the shoreline of our world.
I
right?
understand that, but when you say the highest, based on what?
So the highest average elevation, it's higher than all other continents. And allegedly, there's mountains in Antarctica that are called Dome A, Dome B, Dome C that are higher than Everest, but they don't teach us that in school. And again, we can't go freely explore to prove it, and they're not telling us the truth. There's no photos of Antarctica from space, right? There's no photos of look, Google photos of Antarctica from space, and you get all cartoons, right? Yeah, they're all cartoons, and you can only go to the shoreline, right? And people say, you know, this is a non-ice wall area. This is, I believe, the peninsula of Antarctica. But if you go to other areas of Antarctica, this is the shoreline of Antarctica, right? So here's a ship at the shoreline. This is a helicopter flying along. This is just the edge of Antarctica. What's out there? We don't know. Does it go all the way around? Maybe there's openings that go to other areas that we're unaware of. But again, we don't know. Here's if you Google Antarctica from space, these are cartoons, not because we say they're cartoons, because they are cartoons, right?
So the easiest question here is if the Earth is surrounded by a barrier of ice, and we've had explorers for a very long time, why has no one sailed west off of California or east off of China or wherever else and hit this big barrier of ice? When people think flat Earth, there's got to be an end to it or an edge to it.
Sure.
So why has that not? That seems like the easiest way to prove that this is the case.
Yeah. So boats have gone out there and they get turned around. You're not allowed to free and independently go beyond 60 degrees south. And they tell us Antarctica is either between 10 and 13,000 miles around. So the last person that tried to circumnavigate Antarctica was Captain Cook. It took him 3.5 years, and he went over 68,000 miles. Okay. How is that possible when the equator is just 25,000 miles around? So unless he's going around the world, right? There's no information about what's in here, right? And so this is what I call the Antarctic Basin where we live. We live in a pond, and this is the shoreline of our pond. If you pay $3,000 or $4,000, you can go to a little island on the tip of this peninsula. Now, this peninsula is gigantic, right? And it's called Deception Island or Rothschild Island. Those are the two islands that they take you to. They show you some penguins and some ice, and they kick you out, but they don't let you go out here to see what's out here. Can I show you? I'll go a couple minutes over. But
so just real quick. So in that map, though, right? So let's just take the west coast of what would be Africa. On a globe, if you went due west off of Africa, you would then hit North America. In this map, if you went due west, you would hit Antarctica or the edge of the earth or the edge of the world. So why hasn't someone just gone due west off of Africa and hit the edge of the world?
So I'm psychic. I will bet you $1,000 that you can point in any direction and it'll be south. You want to take that bet?
In any direction right now?
Right now.
Sure.
Okay,
is there another Bitcoins on the line?
Yeah, point.
He said
point.
1,000.
Point. 1,000 to your dollar. That's south up? That's south? Earth is flat.
Try with $1,000, man.
Every straight line is every straight line goes south. Let me show you why that is. Okay, so on the flat Earth, the Earth is the center of the Earth is the magnetic pole. So here I got a compass, and the compass is pointing towards the north. So I'm trying to push this compass west, and I have to keep turning to the right to maintain a heading of 270 degrees west. So west is a circle. It's not a straight line, right? And so I end up right back where I started. Now, if I try to go east, I have to keep turning to the left to maintain a heading of 90 degrees because the compass always has to point towards the center. And I'm back to where I started. Now, if I try to dead reckon west, right? Dead reckon west, I'm not going to correct once I start moving. I'm moving south. See how I turned? And now south is every direction. Every one of these lines is south, going from the center out.
I
So
see how
everything's south. So everything's south.
that makes it
Everything
very
is south.
easy for Ray, except I don't think that's right. Because
Well,
if
hold on.
everything on that map, though,
I'm
that
convinced.
looks okay. Except on that map, if I went south or west or however we're calling it from Africa, looks like that'd take me a hell of a long time to get to North America going west.
100%.
Not the case. Right?
On a globe, hold on. Let me answer that. So on a globe, to the tip of South America is down near Antarctica, and Australia is down near Antarctica on the other side. So you should be able to just go here and then pop up over here. But
Sure.
nobody has ever done that, right? When you go south, right? South is away from the center. You go south. And on a flat Earth, you would never come up to the other side. No one's ever done it. Billions of people have circumnavigated east and west, right? And then some people have gone north. Watch, I'm going north. I'm going north. I'm going north. And as soon as I pass the North Pole, I'm now going south. Compass is at a 180. Every straight line brings you to the edge of the lake.
I have a
That's
question.
Antarctica. Go ahead.
Okay, so, but before
No,
you go,
shut
Ray,
up. Shut up, Rich. No, I'm going. So if you dig, everyone says you dig and you go to China, that's the Wives Trail. So what's below us? What's there?
Right, so let me just mute him real quickly.
You muted him?
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
I thought it was a great question, but I mean, whatever.
It's a great question.
I think that map that you showed us, I think there's a lot of airlines that would have problems.
Well, so I'm glad you brought that up. And listen, we're going to wrap this up.
We're
in a minute.
little late, and I do want to end on the big lie because
it's okay. I won't walk away before we're done with the big lie. So, the deepest hole ever dug is less than 8 miles. So if the Earth wasn't a Macintosh apple, we drilled a quarter of the way through the skin. And while they were drilling, they were wrong every step of the way. They were like, oh, no more water, no more rocks. They hit more water. They hit more rocks. Then they hit an impenetrable barrier. They couldn't get any deeper. They tried for years. Some creepy stuff came out of that. And they couldn't get any deeper. But somehow they know the next 4,000 miles to a molten magnetic core. There's a thing called the Curie point. Any magnet, when you heat it up, it loses its magnetism before it melts. But we have a molten magnet core, which again, like space and the gases in space, is scientifically impossible. So what's below the Earth? Nobody knows. This is pseudoscience, and it's in every science book. Okay? Nobody knows what's below 8 miles. Nobody. No flat earther, no globe earther. They just speculate based on a stupid ball theory, right?
Well, they speculate the molten earth based off sending waves into the earth.
Yeah,
and
again,
the earth.
The P waves, the S waves.
Yeah, that hole is in Russia.
It's in Russia, the core borehole. Very good.
That one is a good.
That's a good conspiracy theory.
Spirit walk of truth, because they guard that bitch with a lot.
Yeah,
of
did you hear these friggin' hellish sounds came out of there? Crazy.
Yeah,
crazy. I heard it once. I just thinking about what I heard, and I don't ever want to hear it again.
I think it's 12 or 14 miles, but anyway, yeah.
It's 7.8 miles. It's 7.8 miles. All right. So without getting into it too deep, here's the globe. The top is the north. The bottom is the south. Now think. There's thousands of airports in north of the equator. If you take any two airports, and you fly a plane from one to the other, would that plane ever need to go below the equator to get there?
I don't know.
Well, you should be able to think it out. The answer is no. Get a basketball, draw an equator on it, put 1 million dots above the line, and try to connect them with the shortest line. Never, ever, ever would you have to go below the equator. And guess what? No flights in the north ever dip below the equator. The same should be true for the bottom of the ball, going from a southern airport to a southern airport. But here's just one flight. New Zealand, which is right next to Australia, which is around the corner. And then we got Argentina, which is down off of South America. And FlightAware says the Great Circle route, shortest route, is right here. That's how the flight should go. Maybe it can go like this. Who the hell knows, right? But this is the shortest route. You want to see the real route that it goes? So the actual flight route goes from New Zealand to San Francisco across the equator to Houston, Texas, and then back down across the equator to Argentina. Why would it do that? And the answer is because the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line. New Zealand, San Francisco, Houston, Texas, Argentina, right? And there's hundreds of these. Southern flights don't make any sense on a globe Earth. They only make sense on a flat Earth. And there's emergency landings that are worse, right? Where they have an emergency and they land somewhere that should have been 2,000 miles out of the way. They get there in 10 minutes. But if you look at it, it's on a flat Earth map. Here's the World Cup soccer team. They say, well, sometimes they have to pick up other people and change pilots, and and that's their hub. Well, they had their own chartered flight. And Argentina won, Buenos Aires team. They were in Doha. And so they left, private plane, just want to go home. They went to Rome for fuel. That doesn't look like it's any closer. But if you look at it, Doha, Rome, open ocean, no place to get gas, home. So this is the route that they took, but this is what it looks like on a globe. This is stupid. This makes sense, right?
I get it. I think the airlines have a problem, and what you're showing us is a 3D model and a 2D model for the flight there from a globe. But we can have this debate and conversation really for hours, and you've had it for years, Dave.
I'm going to get to why the lie, but before I'm going to give you guys, this is the app I have. All right, so this is where I'm grifting. I'm selling my $3 app, and it basically is to save you time, because if you Google flat Earth, you're only going to get the nonsense. If you Google top 10 reasons the Earth is flat, Google's going to feed you top 10 reasons the Earth is not flat, right? And so you Google Austin Whitsitt, who's one of our guys, geocentric debate, you're going to get stuff that has nothing to do with him. You're going to get Professor Dave. You're going to get Cyman Dan. You're going to get all of these propped up trolls or shills or whatever you want to call them. And it's not going to feed you information. The app every day has a featured video. Here's the challenge for everybody listening: 3 Bitcoins, but you don't waste my time. You have to watch the daily video, which is right here every day for 2 weeks while you're having your breakfast. At the end of that 2 weeks, if you think you have a globe proof, you can send it to me, but you have to click the question mark first. And the question mark is all of the questions you have. We didn't get into gravities right here. Why the lie? Great videos in there. What about where does the sun go? Ships over the horizon. All of this information is being hidden from you. Rainbows to tsunamis, the Antarctic sailboat race, right? It shows you how these things actually all prove the flat Earth. And there's tons and tons of stuff in here. And so there you go.
So what is it called again, Dave, and where do you find it?
FlatEarthDave.com, because there's already fake versions on the Google Play Store. Just FlatEarthDave.com. Click the banner there. It's $3 one-time charge. There is some advanced features. There's a dating site on it. There's
Did you stuff a flat earther, right?
Yeah,
right.
Well, look, these are the people that are near me that have my app. Okay,
that's Bobby. Bobby's right there.
If I look,
funny enough, that's the same map that have Ray's mother's ass.
211,000. Here's the UK. A few. These are all people that are awake and aware. Here we are. Look at New Hampshire, right?
Oh yeah, no, that's chock full up there.
We're getting there. Look at. I didn't look at Nova Scotia. Beautiful, right?
Scotia's.
And yeah, amazing. St. John's, nice.
Not a lot there, Dave.
Nobody lives there, dude. Nobody lives there.
Well, I'm just saying the Nova Scotia didn't look that great.
Yeah, well, that's right. These are just, listen, this represents less than 1% of the people that know the Earth is flat. These are just the people that have my app. Most people don't even know who I am, right? So
they will now.
Yeah, so well, after watching your podcast, it's going to really go viral, I'm sure.
Hell
okay. Yeah. So, and here's the other thing that's going to happen, and I'm going to do why the lie, and then we're out. The trolls who follow me everywhere are going to go, Dave's a grifter, his app doesn't work, he's using globe math, it's been disproven with the Antarctic sun observation. All of that is bullshit, okay? But go look at their channels. They'll leave 100 comments, but they have 0 content on their channel. I call them the complete and total globe proof channels, right? They have 0 content.
Those are bots.
Well, they're not just bots. They're actually lazy trolls. Okay, they're literally lazy trolls that have been following me for years. They're amazing. So they'll never offer you a proof. Oh, we didn't talk about how the sun sets. We don't have time. On my channel, on my YouTube channel, which you can find on my website, it's called DITRH, stands for Deep Inside the Rabbit Hole. I've got, or on the app, just go to How Does the Sun Set? All of the videos are there. They can explain it better than I can right here. And again, this isn't something that you're going to learn in one day. It's going to take forever. I learn new stuff every day. For example, we use the term belief is the enemy of knowing. So do you guys believe I live in Connecticut?
No.
No, I don't believe anything you say, frankly.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. That's good. Well, you could say, maybe you do, whatever. But we believing something is easy. It takes no effort. To know it, you're going to have to go verify it. Look on Facebook, find my high school, find my friends, whatever, and then you can verify it. But it takes time and effort. Belief is easier. And people just want to be lazy and just believe. So you guys believe you live on a ball because somebody told you. Right?
Hey, no. You're starting
to
turn.
Turned red.
You started turning.
Raymond,
I want to do some research.
10 seconds. 10
you got
seconds.
an app purchase there.
Hot hitting questions because I did write these down, and then I want to do the big lie and under like. We got to go, Dave. I know you probably got stuff to do, but I did have a couple of these that I think it's important. These are just true or false, really. True or false? The moon landing is the greatest cinematic achievement of all time.
I think the greatest cinematic achievement of all time was the what they called the final experiment that just happened in Antarctica.
Okay, but the moon landing was fake.
Fake as fuck, dude.
Okay. True or false? Wrestling is real.
You got to look at my interview that I did with Chris Jericho. I did several interviews with him.
I will definitely check that out.
And Tony Romo, I just did one with.
Oh, right? Perfect.
Yeah, on the app, there's a magnifying glass. Just type in Chris Jericho, and you'll find my interview.
You're
right there.
digging yourself right into that grifter hole right here with these
I'm
answers,
in.
these questions.
I'm
just
in.
pitching. True or false? The Matrix was a documentary.
100% true.
Okay. True or false? All science is just nerds gaslighting us.
Pretty much.
And was Kyrie Irving backpedaling off the flat Earth comment like one of the biggest hits you guys took over the last couple of years?
Didn't Kyrie Irving just step down because he'd been to too many Diddy parties?
That's what I was looking for. All right, Dave, finish us off. What's the big lie, please?
All right, so wait, I got a question for you. You know the movie Idiocracy?
Yes.
It used to be a comedy, but now it's a documentary.
Yeah, that's a good one. Do you know what the shoes were in Idiocracy? The director wanted the dumbest looking, stupid ass fucking shoes he could find.
They were Crocs.
They were Crocs.
They were Crocs. Dude, they look for the dumbest shoes ever, and now it's one of the most popular shoes ever. And I will tell you, I've never put a Croc on.
Well, you're missing out. All right,
that's what I hear. That's what I hear.
Yeah, you need to. They're great.
It took me 10 years. I slipped them. I haven't taken them off.
Ah, damn it. That's why I'm not going to put them on because I'm not gay.
Do it.
All right. So listen.
Well done.
Yeah.
All right. Why to lie? Why would they lie? To hide free energy, to hide the creator, to hide your spirituality, to hide more land, to hide more resources, to hide scientific knowledge, to hide what's in Antarctica, and hide that you're special. Okay? That's just a start right there. What if you had a device that would power your car for generations, heat your home in the winter to any temperature you wanted, and air condition your home in the summer so you have icicles on the window, and it would work for generations? Would that change your life? Damn right it would. They're hiding free energy. They're hiding more resources. They're hiding our true divinity. They're hiding the creator. They're hiding our true abilities, and they're literally they're literally stopping us from living to our full potential. That's what's going on. The globe lie is the number one way they keep us in control, because when you unplug from the globe matrix, get off of their ball field, you can stop playing by their ball field rules, right? Because if you play on their ball field, you got to play by their rules. And then they control you with money, which is also fake, okay? Right? Money is just a belief system, right? If nobody believed that $100 would do anything, then it wouldn't be anything. It's all a belief system. And then the whole power of the government is all a belief system. So when you wake up to flat Earth, you literally said, I'm not buying your crap anymore. You're no longer afraid. Fear is how they control us. They keep us fear with the asteroids are going to hit us. I think over Christmas, there was an asteroid shaped like a freaking Christmas tree that came by or something. It's so stupid, all of their articles, right? They had like when the Barbie movie came out, an asteroid that was the shape of a thousand Barbies went by. It's like so dumb what they do. It's like I don't even think AI is writing it, because AI would be embarrassed. So again, it's all about fear. If they keep us in fear, like nuclear bombs. Oh my God, Putin and North Korea. Nuclear. What if I told you nuclear bombs weren't real? How would you feel about that? You think you're triggered about flat Earth? Nuclear bombs will blow you away. On my website, down on the bottom, there's 4 banners. One of them is a nuclear bomb banner. Listen to those podcasts. Don't believe anything. Verify everything. And then you'll know nuclear bombs are not as described. Bad news is they have directed energy weapons that are worse. But nuclear bombs are just a way to keep you in fear. False evidence appearing real. FEAR.
Didn't Oppenheimer wear Crocs?
Oppenheimer was just another movie to keep you in that fear mode. And
that project was bullshit. The proverbial they are hiding it all. And
here is the they: the Council of Foreign Relations, the United Nations, the Bilderberg Group, the Club of Rome, the Royal Institute of International Affairs, and the Trilateral Commission. This is known as the Round Table. These are the people that we think are running our world. These are the ones that are running us or try to, but they're the puppets of the real people who are probably beyond the shoreline of Antarctica. Can't prove it. But all of our leaders go down there at the weirdest times and they disappear for 3 days and then they come back and then they have their new marching orders.
But there you go. And it seems like the flat earth is the gateway drug to this round table conspiracy of the proverbial they. And open your minds. Take is it the red pill or the blue pill? I don't know.
It's the red pill. And have you guys looked into the old world yet?
No.
I've Googled it a little bit.
So don't Google because they're not going to do anything. On the app, there's a button that looks like a dragon. But it's a griffin, and this is the old world area. This is old world order. Amazing, blow your mind away. Start there, and then move over to my lunch break. Okay.
Ray likes that.
The rabbit hole is so deep. You're never going to come out once you go in. It's amazing. And then you're going to walk out in your own hometown. You're going to look around, especially New Hampshire. You're going to go, how the fuck did I not see that my whole life? You're going to be looking at these buildings and be like, how did I miss that? This is amazing. Old World Order is the gateway drugs to get you in. There's all sorts of stuff in here. This guy on Instagram called, what is it called? What is it? Spacing on his name. Oh, no. Yeah, that's it. I'm the improbable dreamer. Amazing. You'll learn about airships and all sorts of stuff.
Hey, Dave, speaking of holes real quick, since you're in since you're in Connecticut, Bobby's mom's there.
Okay, there we go. We muted him. Thank you very much, Dave. That's the official key to be. We're off the rails.
FlatEarthDave.com.
FlatEarthDave.com.
Just here's what I say. Don't believe anything I say. Verify everything. FlatEarthDave.com. If you don't want to get the app, just scroll down until where you see a big picture of me. It says Crash Course. Watch the first 4 videos in there, and then you're fucked. Okay? You're a flat earther. All right? You cannot watch the first 4 videos and not reject the ball. It's scientifically impossible. So there you go.
Dave, who's this guy? Who's this guy? Tartini here.
Tartaria? What do you mean?
Look at the screen. Look at the screen real quick. What is that?
What am I looking
Tartaria?
at?
Can you see that?
Tartaria.
The question?
Oh yeah.
Tartaria.
Ask him about Tartaria. So Tartaria is an ancient civilization, not ancient, a civilization that was here just a couple hundred years ago. I mean, in the 1700s, this place was amazing. We are literally getting their technologies being released to us slowly. I mean, there was free energy technology. Again, watch Old World Order, then go to My Lunch Break, watch a bunch of those, and then you'll understand what Tartaria was. You'll understand that dragons are real, dinosaurs are fake, nuclear bombs don't exist, Earth is flat, you are important, you're special, you're smarter than you think, and there are no shortages, we're not overpopulated, and the elite are trying to kill us. All right?
Awesome,
there
Dave.
it is. In a nutshell. That's how you close a podcast right there. Dave, this has been fun. If nothing else, Ray, you've been turned. I'm still skeptical. Bobby, turned or nay?
I am skeptical, but eyes open.
1 out of 3 is not bad, Dave. We got work to do. We'll go to your app and see if we can finish it up.
Go. I mean, the app is like when you're cruising around, you want to quickly find stuff. It's the best way to go. But watch the crash course videos on my website.
No, you've intrigued me.
The crash course video again. If you're like, oh my God, he's right, the Earth is flat, you're lazy. You got to go do the work before you literally commit, and you will commit if you don't let the trolls distract you. If you don't fall down the Professor Dave nonsense, right? You have to look and think for yourself.
Scale of 1 to Hitler. How much do you hate Professor Dave?
Oh, he's the worst. Hitler might have been one of the greatest leaders of all time.
Okay, we're gonna let you go. We're gonna let you go on that one, Dave.
Hold on.
We've reached
They took AI and they took Hitler's speech and they translated it into English and they put it on like an American-looking politician and they played it for people and everyone's like, "Wow, that was a great speech." You should hear what he actually said. You should hear what Gaddafi said. Right? Amazing.
Where can I find this one? Where can I find this one on your app?
Ready? Write this down. Write this down.
Shut up, Rich.
All right. StopLookThink.com. And right at the top, the biggest banner, it says occupied. Now, listen, that's a heavy-duty documentary. Don't watch it with the kids. Heavy-duty. Watch that, and then think about it. Okay?
Hey,
all right.
I'm
we
all
do
ears.
not condone Hitler, but we
listen,
appreciate you having your time here, Dave.
We call him
everyone,
the man with
everyone
the
knows
man with
Hitler
the
was a great
mustache.
leader. He got
no, we don't know. We don't know.
I know
shit
you
about
said
Hitler.
it. Yeah, clip that up. Clip it up.
Yeah, you can clip it up. You could clip it, whatever. The basically what we've been told is a lie.
Yeah,
everything's a lie.
Everything's a lie.
So there you go. And I'm Jewish, by the way. Okay.
Shalom. Happy Hanukkah.
Yeah, thank you. Is it
Right.
Hanukkah? It is Hanukkah, right?
It is Hanukkah. Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Me neither.
All right.
Me neither.
Peace, guys. There you go. There's a show for you. There's a
Bye,
show.
Dave. Thank you very much, man. This was awesome.
Dave.
Thanks,
All right,
Dave.
see you guys. See you. Bye.
Well, there you have it. That was a rousing edition of Simple Minds Sports Show. I wanted to get one sports question in there, and didn't quite have it, unless you consider slaughtering 6 million Jews sport. We got that one in at the end, which we don't. We don't condone that at all. But what a way to end it. Ray, you are clearly turned. I saw you fucking leaning in. Just
I don't see. I can't see. I'm on my wife's computer. It's a small
nodding
screen.
your head, smiling and smirking.
Hey, it makes sense. You might get my $3 tonight.
Not a single thing he said made sense. There were only a couple things where I were not smart enough or didn't remember my 6th grade science to go, wait a minute. I know how seasons work, but I can't explain it to you right now in the fucking Earth is on an axis. It tilts, it spins, it goes around the sun. Sometimes we're further, sometimes we're not. That's how seasons work, not because the sun's not real and it's in a small circle, then it goes to a bigger circle. We don't know exactly how or what it is. It's just a light that's in the atmosphere, but it's not. Sorry,
Rich has been dying to get this off. Rich has been dying to
get
get
this off. Didn't quite turn me. Is all I'll say. I gave him, we gave him an open forum for an hour and a half to turn me, and I wasn't turned. What do you want? What do you want from me?
Well,
you were, and that's fine. You know what? Easy target. These are the people that he's shooting for. You're in, Ray. Buy the app. I'm sure you already have, and dive down the rabbit hole. Report back.
Sounds good. I will.
Tell us all about it. Can't wait to hear.
This has been the Simple Minds Sports Show, special edition with Flat Earth Dave. Thank you, Raymond, for setting us up. I had my reservations about it for many reasons before we did it, but as always, Ray, you were right. I was wrong. We will see you mercifully. I can never say that word, Bobby. Mercifully on Monday for what I'm sure is another Patriots recap show in a loss or a snapshot. So if you can't make that, join us live on next Thursday for our regular show at 8 p.m. on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, wherever else Ray gets us. Thanks for joining us tonight. Thanks for Flat Earth Dave, and see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.